TGCRequiem here. We are playing blue-black Tezzeret. Looks like we are going to be on the draw. We have a turn 1 temple, a polluted delta, access to turn 2 temple, for the meat. 4 lands is a little heavy. Our opponent kept 7. The fact that we do have access to turn 2 brutality and or sort of the meat though makes me feel like this is okay. Again, we're not going to always have like a super heavy explosive start. If we can get sword, we're maybe getting Jund or Jund Shadow, so this might actually be brutal. Oh, Burning Inquiry, interesting. So each player discards 3 cards, then draws 3, then discards 3 at random. So in this case, we're probably playing Hollow One, which means a Ensnaring Bridge would be really good here. I guess we'll just have to see what we discard. Hopefully we discard the sword. Ugh, the Whir and the Ensnaring Bridge, that's brutal. Let's see, Flame Blade Adept, Flood Crypt. Ooh, they lost 2 of their shocks. We might be good to just turn 1 name a Bloodstained Mire, and we could potentially lock them off of their other fetches. I think we actually lead with Dark Slick here. Trying to think, they have typically Hollow One, Gurmag Angler. I think Bloodstained Mire makes the most sense. This typically red-black deck. Also, you can name like Street Wraith, any cycling card you can name with the Pithing Needle. Lots of play to this deck, which makes it fun. Ooh, they discarded a Gurmag Angler. Like they're maybe looking for another land. Hopefully we locked them out a little bit on this. Okay, looks like we're going to get a Gurmag Angler here, otherwise they wouldn't have pitched the other one, I have to imagine. The Snaring Bridge is great. So we're actually going to go Temple of Deceit here. I would normally say Sword of the Meek, and then hope to draw the other half of it and start getting chump blockers, but we've got a few turns to deal with this, so we're going to go Temple of Deceit. We have the Polluted Delta, get the bridge down the next turn. We do not want to land here. Pass. So that will allow them one more turn of attacking. Also important to note, if like your opponent's at 4, your Tezzeret will get you your 5th card that allows the Angler to attack. You don't have to pick any of the cards. You can fail to find even if there are artifacts if you were to uptick a Tezzeret. Just another Angler, that's good for us. 3 of their Anglers have already been seen and or discarded. I kind of feel like in that situation they probably should have cracked their fetch before they Street Wraithed. So let's see here. I think it's pretty clean that we just go for the Delta Ensnaring Bridge. That leaves 5 cards in hand, so they're going to get 1 more attack. But then we're going to be able to, worst case, we can just Collective Brutality the next turn to get ourselves low enough to avoid another attack. And if we draw a land, we could potentially start to Tezzeret or something like that. The big hope here is that our opponent just doesn't have any main deck answers to Ensnaring Bridge. They try and run out something like the yeah, that's fine. So that doesn't really hurt us too much. Actually, so now we can cast Inventor's Fair and get Search and Sword down, which really starts to pinch them on what they can attack us with. That'll actually get us below a hollow one, I think. Woo! We really wish we had that Collective Brutality now, I tell you what. Still could draw one the next turn. Damnation or Alright, so we can play a land and we can play 2 cards. That gets us below where we need to be, so I like that. I think we play Inventor's Fair too because that's going to definitely get us some life out of this. Search to start filtering. Talisman, and that way next turn we can probably get our Sword of the Meek and the Tezzeret down. Unless our opponent can make us draw cards, we may have them in a spot where they can't do anything. This is why we call it kind of a pseudo prison deck. They don't come out with some sort of target player draws 2 cards, loses 2 life. Anybody ever lost to that back in the standard days? Alright, so they're going to start to drain us because, and they can't take any of our cards either. Neither of these are instants or sorceries. But they're going to have to start trying to beat us with like Collective Brutalities and Lightning Bolts. But again, we are going to gain a life every turn. Inventor's Fair. Okay, so Flame Wake is going to be able to get 1-2 attacks. No, actually just 1 attack because we'll be able to unload our hand this next turn. Search for Azcanta will flip, giving us our 6th mana. We'll only have 1 card left in hand. Unless it's like a 0 cost. In which case we'll be alright. They can only draw 1 Lightning Bolt next turn. Delta, we're going to put that in the graveyard. We're going to flip our search. Gain a life. Well, second Tezzeret isn't very good, but what can you do? We'll get just a little bit of filtering before we play our Tezzeret. So that's great. So we can uptick Tezzeret and cast this as well. I'm okay with this being on the top of the library. It's not the most impactful draw, but we don't need a super impactful draw at the moment. We're going to take the bauble because that does allow us to play it out of our hand and keep that Flame Wake out of range. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. So we're 1 artifact away from doming our opponent with Tezzeret next turn. But again, 1 lightning bolt is not enough. And actually, so they actually are throwing it at Tezzeret, which makes sense because they probably die to Tezzeret next turn. So we'll actually get to uptick with Tezzeret and then play another Tezzeret uptick again. We don't need to draw anything off of the bauble yet. We could turn one of our artifacts into a 5/5, but I don't think that's necessary. Just filter for other half of our combo. So we could get Thopter Foundry, but I don't think we even need it right now. So I think actually Relic is pretty powerful here. Yeah, I think we just get the Welding Jar to protect our Ensnaring Bridge. New Tezzeret. I think our opponent's conceding there. Yep. Okay. So awesome. Looks like we would have had a turn 7 win. I was on the draw. So we're gonna think about this. Do they have much that... I don't know if they run Bloodghast or not. Grafdigger's Cage, still it's good against Faithless Looting, I suppose, and it's going to be good against Ancient Grudge. I definitely think we want to bring that in. We think about, do they run a lot of 1-drops? I don't remember, it was Goblin Lore. Goblin Lore was a 2-drop. I think we definitely want our Damnation. I mean, we could attack creatures with Lost Legacy. Fatal Push really doesn't hit much. I think we definitely want Welding Jar. We have to assume the opponent's going to be running Ancient Grudge. Don't think we need Witchbane Orb. We're going to be a little faster potentially too with more early plays. I'm trying to decide if we actually want the Pithing Needle. I don't think there's anything super great for Pithing Needle. But let's see, is there anything else we want to take out specifically? I think Liliana the Veil is worthwhile as removal. Fatal Push can hit their Flame Blade Adepts and the other card. Actually, you know what? Grafdigger's Cage also good against that. Phoenix. There's a whole lot we want to pull out here. Actually, sword combo is still very good. Search, we typically looks like we're going to have enough time. Brutality will help us get down under. think we need the Pithing Needle. We can name Street Wraith, but just because we can't doesn't mean we should. I don't know that we need more. Honestly, we probably can cut Tezzeret. We want to get low fairly quick, and I don't know that Tezzeret's... we probably want our bridge, though, so maybe we keep that in there and we cut a Liliana. Maybe we should have cut a Brutality instead of a Liliana. Thing is that I feel like their deck's going to get enough creatures down somewhat fast that... And they want to use the graveyard, so I don't think Liliana is like super powerful there. This is a little slow, but Search does give us some filtering. I'm gonna keep this. I mean, I haven't played against this matchup a ton. It's hard to say exactly what I want. We can Brutality this, as long as I don't have like a Street Wraith. I think we're just going to Tarn for a Watery Grave. Maybe we should go for an island. It's very possible that they're running like Blood Moon here. Does this deck run a Blood Moon? I could see them running Blood Moon. We really hope that they don't have any Street Wraiths in hand, so we can kill this Flameblade Adept. Oh, maybe they'll draw us into... Like we should still be able to Brutality. Can't imagine they're going to waste the Grudge on the Opal. I think we're going to get run over a little bit here. Probably going to end up pitching some cards to Brutality. I don't think they have much in terms of instant speed discard. I think we can pitch a Delta. And probably this Tezzeret, because I don't think the Tezzeret's actually going to do much for us here. If the opponent has a Street Wraith, they can save this Flameblade. Okay, so they do actually have Bloodghast, so that's good to know for Grafdigger's Cage. I think we just pass. So we're really aggressively playing towards a bridge line, although we got to be careful because they do have an Ancient Grudge in hand already, or in the graveyard already. You have a second Collector Brutality. I mean, honestly, we don't care if they Ancient Grudge or Opal. Probably gonna hard cast Bloodghast here. I mean, obviously we don't know what they drew, but actually he's probably good for us. So yeah, we can Collective Brutality and pitch Sword of the Meek. What do we toss? Just more lands? I love it. I'm all for it. War of Invention. I actually know what both of their cards are, right? No, because they pitched a mountain. So we're going to go at their hand in case they have any non-creature spells. Fine with us. So blue source is good here because we could whir for like a relic and then pop the graveyard. Or we could Grafdigger's Cage. Fortunately, we don't have any artifacts really to turn on the Opal as of yet. This is part of why we only run the 2 Opal. So I cast a Faithless Looting out of the graveyard. And I'm going to need to step away for just a second here. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just had to assist my daughter with something. So the nice thing here is they're going to be able to crack their Bloodstained Mire to get these Bloodghasts. Ugh. So they crack those. That's 8. Not the best draw here. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done. You're going to have 8 power on board. It's not impossible, probably, but very highly unlikely. The biggest concern, I think, I mean, we're basically going to have, what, like a Damnation, which we can't cast anyway, or like a... Yeah, I think we're just done here. I think we've lost this game. Burning Inquirer, actually, a little obnoxious to play against. Start to try and have a plan just to have it all blown up. And I mean, they could have a lightning bolt. This just might be actually over. Just going for it while they can. Makes sense. Fiery Temper, that's perfect. So discard, we'll concede. Alright, so a little bit of a slow hand. Not sure how much it would have made a difference. If we had kept a better hand, we have the Burning Inquiry kind of breaking up our game plan anyway. At least we'll get to be on the play this turn and hopefully get a couple actions before We get jammed with a Burning Inquiry this go around. So Flame Blade Adept, Burning Inquiry, Faithless Looting, Lightning Bolt. There's at least 16 1-drops. 8 of them really make their deck tick. I think we're in the draw here, going to bring in the Chalices, and we're probably going to pull out the Lilianas. Fatal Push, of course, is not as good with Chalice on board. I think I like this. Just kind of thinking it through. I actually really like this hand. We get to go Chalice on one, and then Bantu's Last Reckoning if they get a couple early creatures down. A good chance we're going to get this hand blown up anyway, so again, just using the power of the turn 1 Scryland. We're going to keep this on top. Not sure the search is ideal there, but alright, good. Faithless Looting. So we'll probably jam Watery Grave. Oh wow. So they actually Faithless Looting and Street Raid to cast Hollow One for free. I don't think I knew that the deck could do that. That's pretty cool. But again, we do have our Bantu's Last Reckoning, so we're kind of alright with that. I want to thin the deck into better draws, so I'm going to go Scalding Tarn into the Chalice here. We're just going to grab an island, make sure we can cast our Whirs. I think we want to tap land now. We're going to play the Search here. We're not going to play the Kill the Hollow One. We're going to hope that they run out one more creature before we jam that down. So I think we actually, or do we just take them? I think we just run the Temple of Deceit. think we really need the opal here. We have plenty of mana. We're gonna probably have to run a tap land next turn anyway after the Bantu's Last Reckoning, unfortunately. Although maybe we do want to run a Watery Grave in, and then we can Inventor's Fair and have 2 mana in case we need to cast something else the next turn. So we are going to put that Watery Grave into the graveyard. Draw a Bauble. Play said Bauble. I think we just have to fire it off here. Looking to hold on to the Bauble because the incidental life gain I think is worth more than the card draw. Already have some filtering with search. No. I'm probably going to hold on to this Whir for a little bit. Maybe it's worth getting a Relic. Oh, now we're not. Now we're just going to start picking at their graveyard with the Relics. So let me think about this. We do not have the ability to cast Whir twice. So we're just going to play Watery Grave tapped. Pass. If our opponent tries to do anything, we can Whir for Grafdigger's Cage or Relic. Probably Relic. So we could Whir for a Welding Jar to protect this. They can just recast it. But I think I'd rather just let this blow up and then eat their graveyard and then get an Ensnaring Bridge, and then they'll be without their Ancient Grudge. Do have Don't know that we want to pop this yet, though. Yeah, we're not going to pop this yet. I think we're good with it. Tezzeret. Good with the Tezzeret. What do we want to do if we cast Tezzeret? We can't cast Whir then. I think Whir is more important. Yeah, we're going to put that in the graveyard. So we could go get a Grafdigger's Cage, play a Grafdigger's Cage, but I think I'd rather just Whir for an Ensnaring Bridge here. I guess we can't tap it anyway, so we have a fair assumption here that they're going to try and pump these and then attack, and then the hope is we can, in response, Whir for a bridge. Nullifying their attack unless they happen to have an Ancient Grudge. So we're relatively safe here unless they draw into another Ancient Grudge. Like an Abrupt Decay. Should then be able to Inventor's Fair into a I guess we could go get a Grafdigger's Cage or a Welding Jar. Oh, Opera Foundry would be pretty good too right now. Did that wrong. Ooh. Oh, I don't have, shoot. Don't have the artifacts that I need. We are going to actually cast for 2 modes. Kill a creature, gain some life. Makes future Bloodghast no longer hasty. Do we have any might? Yeah, we're still getting might. Okay. We may want to crack this bauble at end step. And we have lots of mana. There's only a couple draws that would lock us out here. Ooh, Ancient Grudge is one of them. Great draw for them. So they're going to be able to blow up the Ensnaring Bridge. We can... Oh yeah, we just can't go get with the Inventor's Fair. That's such a bummer. So that's going to put 5, 6 in our graveyard. I think we're actually going to go ahead and bauble here. And then that way we can flip our search. That really makes a difference. One has to think they don't have more than 2 Ancient Grudges. Got a Gurmag Angler coming. Oh shoot, I wanted to filter. Okay, that's alright. I wanted to filter with the search first. But that is good. Collective Brutality in the graveyard. Oop. We should be able to flip our search next turn and then hopefully dig for the comeback here. We gotta play fast though, so we're gonna probably be a little quiet here. Opponent could still beat us with like Collective Brutality and Lightning Bolts. Did see they have. I'm confused what happened there. They just discarded Hollow One somehow. Looks like maybe they. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, we want Tezzeret. Yes, we want to flip search. I think I screwed up here. Not too much mana. Uptick. Welding Jar is a really good draw if we can get that. That's perfect. Oh, it's a 2-1, so I think we're actually just going to take advantage of this real quick. Thopter Foundry is actually going to be able to allow us to start gaining life the next turn. Oh, I see. So Hollow One, they can actually cycle it. You just never see it played that way. Come on. Oh no. No, no. No, no. Ah, good games. Good games. Alright, let's take a quick peek, see what we would have gotten. So close, so close. the next few draws we would have been able to uptick Tezzeret, gotten a Collective Brutality, Sword of the Meek. Probably would have drawn out of it. We've actually gained enough life the next turn that would put us out of bullet range. So that close, that close, that close. Oh, great games. Anyway, if you enjoy, please like the video, subscribe if you want to watch some more, and otherwise we will see you later. Finished 1-2, unfortunately, for the loss. See you next time.